Good morning. In today's video class of the chapter How to Tell Wild Animals, we'll continue the second and the last part of this video. So, in the chapter, narrator tells us about how to identify, how to distinguish among these animals. When you go somewhere and you come across them, you meet suddenly them. So, what traits, what specialties will help us identifying them and we can safeguard ourselves. So we'll take third stanza, fourth stanza. If when you are walking around your yard, you meet a creature there who hugs you very, very hard, be sure it is a bear. If you have any doubts, I guess he'll give you just one more caress. So first we'll work on rhyming scheme like other stanza. It has the same rhyming scheme. It is A, and it is B, B. So it is A, B, A, B, and C, C. Yard, there, hard, bear, guess, caress. So it is A, B, A, B, C, C. So in this poet tell us, and I told in the first video as well, it is a very humorous because he tells us how to identify them, and identifying animals while dying definitely will make us laugh. Means when the animal is over jumping over us or he is ready to pounce upon us, that time we are able to identify him. So identifying animals um, before or while dying definitely will give us a humorous idea. Okay, and there are certain figure of speeches too. I told as personification was used here as we are using he for animal, and enjambment was in first stanza, and there is one more poetic figure of speech, poetic liberty also used. How? We'll tell you. So poet says gives a situation that if you sometime walk around near your yard and you meet a creature over there, and the identification is that he is known for hugging, who hugs you very very hard. So his hugging very hard is actually not out of love. So he hugs means aim is not good. So bear hug is actually the act of holding somebody as strongly and tightly in someone's arm to hug you till death. And it is not, obviously it is not a friendly hug, because when a bear will attack on you, he immobilizes its victim. So that's immobilizing is actually called by him hug. So he hugs you very hard, and be sure if it is bear. And it give us very humorous idea. It make me laugh even, that when he will hug you, and that time it will be of no use that knowing or being sure that he is a bear. Suppose he hugged me at tight, and then I am able to know this will be of no use. But still he has given us that he is known for his bear hug. And if you have any doubt still, and still if you have any doubt, then he poet says that he guesses that he will give us one more gentle caress, that one more gentle touch. Caress means gentle touch. So he, it will actually, it is no more gentle touch. He will hug us again and again and will crush us to death. But he says that it will give you only gentle caress. So it is no more gentle. Now, so though to distinguish beasts of prey, a novice might nonplus. The crocodile you always may tell from the hyenas. Again, the rhyming scheme is same as we discussed in previous one. Hyenas come with merry smiles, but if they weep, they are crocodiles. So the theme is basically to how to distinguish animals. So though to distinguish beasts of prey, these all are actually beasts of prey. They are known for preying other animals. And poet says that a novice means any person who is new in this field, someone New to this job means identifying or roaming to forest and identifying these animals. So novice may none plus. Again, in none plus, it's actually little none. It is none plus, and meaning is confused. So none plus spelling is little change. So we call it poetic license. Like there is he will in the third stanza you must have seen he will lap and lap again. So lap is actually LEP. Actually it is wrong. It should be L. It is should not be lap. It should be LEAP. So there is some correction in spelling, and this correction, so this changing liberty to change the spelling is actually known as poetic device. So there is poetic device. Same here with non plus. There is spelling correction, and it is just to make rhyming with thus non plus. So it is actually non plus. So we can call the figure of speech is poetic device. Now he is telling us about crocodile and hyenas. Even you can see in the image. So he says that any novice can be confused, nonplus means confused, while identifying these animals because they have a different ways. Crocodile always may come with weeping face and they come with tears. What does it mean? One can easily confuse that crocodiles come with tears. When they want to praise some animal, they make their face like this, they are in tears, and some animal may go nearby him and he would definitely grab him or make him his own food. And next way, he says that hyenas come with merry smile. Again, this line gives us humor that hyenas are known for their smiling face. Means very easy meaning is that whenever hyenas are ready to kill someone, their face become little change and they look like as if they are smiling. So their face becomes smiling when they kill some animal, when they are ready to make someone their prey. So any novice may be confused because he may be thinking hyenas are smiling, but actually they are not smiling, they are ready to pounce upon you. Similarly, crocodiles. Sometimes people may go nearby him that he may have some problem as he is weeping, he is shedding tears, but actually it is his technique, his tricks to grab his enemy. So one should be beware of these two different behaviors of these wild animals. Now, the true chameleon is small, a lizard sort of thing. Sort of means type of. A true chameleon is well known for its Hindi name. I can only recollect right now. It's girgit. It's a breed of or a sort of lizard sort of animal. He hasn't. So here it is used he. Using for a small animal he is actually personification. So it's he is lizard sort of thing and you cannot see any ear at all on him and not a single wing. Why he may be asking this question, not a single wing? Because most of the time you see him on trees and you may see that there is no bird, and generally birds sit on the trees, but he will have no wings, no ears. So with this it is very hard, difficult to see him sitting on some tree branches. Anyone can confuse, anyone be his prey, because we generally people would think that there is no animal on the tree, no birds or no wings are there, no ears are there, so one can confuse while seeing him, and one can confuse it concluding that there is nothing on the tree because there are no wings, no ear, and he is kind of very small, uh, lizard sort of thing. So he's very small. Because of all these qualities, generally one cannot see him very easily on the tree, and one can conclude that there is nothing on the tree, but it is not true. If you conclude that there is nothing on the tree, there may be one animal, strange kind of animal, and that is chameleon. Why? Because he is known for his changing colors. So he can adopt any color that he is surrounded with, and he can dodge to anyone very easily because he's a very small animal hasn't any ear at all and not wings, and generally birds sit on trees having wings. One can easily identify, see them, but you cannot see very easily through this lizard sort of thing, that is chameleon. And he can dodge you, he can attack on you anytime. And last line is again tis. So tis is actually it's the tis the chameleon you see, means it's the chameleon. So it is old word use, archaic spelling we call it. It is fine. So we'll discuss some figure of speech here. Like first was personification, like we are using pronoun he for animals in the last stanza you can see. And bear hug, in the phrase bear hug, in the phrase bear hug we can say that it is personification again, that animals hug you like human hugs. So this is compared to human hug, so we can call it personification. And there are sometime alliteration. I very like in that case, not alliteration, sorry, it's some vowel sound. But in alliteration also may be there in many cases, like one place it is whose hide, so in that case it can be alliteration. Enjambment, in the very first stanza it was in continuation of a sentence without any pause comma to next line. And many places you saw spelling correction, I told you earlier even, like lept, lept is lep, lept lept is actually lept, leapt, leap, leap is written lep only. So these kind of corrections are poetic license. So this poem was all about identifying animal. I hope you must have enjoyed this humorous poem. And humorous was in many ways. In every stanza there was one humorous line. Like he says, they come with smiling face or they come with tears. Or at one place he says that if he will hug you very tight, you must understand that it is none other than bear. So this idea means identifying animals while just before dying gives a very humorous idea in our mind that it's of no use, but it is of use. When we go through the poem well and we go through some strange places, it will make us be away from all these. Like dying was also correct, written same, dying. Corrected in the first stanza. Dying is actually dyin only. So dying line. So for this, it all has been done. You all are expected to do these exercises now, and I hope you must have enjoyed the poem along with learning rhyming scheme, figure of speeches, and it would be very helpful for us how to distinguish between tiger and animal or leopard, or how to identify these weird animals of prey. This poem would be very uh, funny as well as useful for us. So please enjoy reading such kind of poems, identify such more poems and read them, and do the exercise in next assignment. Thank you for attending.